Hey everybody.
It's your friend Moonhorse. How you doing? I guess you're doing good. I don't know why I said that as if I thought you could reply. Uh, it's a weird night. I'm doing okay. I'm just a little weird. Things are weird. I'm alright though. So, let's read some stories, shall we? I actually just saw who this was by, and I'm already excited. This is from our friend Ballistic Buddha. Hey, buddy, how you doing, man? I really hope that the last couple of videos. I hope that advice worked for you. So, let's read this story that you wrote though. This one's called "Can I Play?" No. Got really forceful right there. Hello, Moonherd. Moonherd, that's what you're called. I don't know if that's what you're called. I just went with it. I'm up at 4:41 in the morning, and I got a story about why this even happened in the first place. But I had a laugh after 8th grade was over and done with. Probably would have fit into entitled parents or something like that, but I prefer to post here. Now, 8th grade's weird, especially if you're not into sports and more musically inclined, because as far as I can remember, every school was obsessed with sports. Definitely are down here in the South. Basketball, football, soccer. I tried football in 7th grade after that. Yeah, never again. I really hated how each player would smack each other in the rear and yell, "No homo," as loud as possible. Oh, they sound like a lot of fun fucking guys. So I bailed when 8th grade arrived and just kind of stuck to band. Then I got drafted to jazz band, where my band director needed more saxophones. That was home for me. Being on the drum set and tenor sax, having the audience's eyes on me, and overflowing my passion and love for the musical craft by being portrayed in solos, duets, or just in general performance, really. But I had a huge problem. I'd have a panic attack if I felt like my performance wouldn't be perfect. This was more with playing the sax rather than the drums. And this habit hasn't gone away, but I'm getting better with suppressing my fear and playing confidently. This was one of those weeks, and one of the worst ones I ever had. Oh, jeez. I was the second saxophone soloist in the second to last song of my last middle school year. And I'm playing my part religiously. I'd practice during breakfast, at lunch at school, basically skipping them. It got so bad that my mom had to send the school a note telling them make sure I actually eat if I wasn't there. Then there was this kid I'll call Joseph. From the get-go, I knew he was going to give me problems, and I was right. Joseph was the younger sibling of his family and was very spoiled. Anything he wanted, he'd get it. No problem. This is all I knew about him from his brother and from seeing him from time to time. Well, I didn't know that he was even in band. He played a Colert 110 series B-flat trumpet. If the brand sounded expensive, you are correct, because it was a $450 plus tax instrument. Ooh. But as much money as his family invested into that trumpet, he was a terrible player. Either always getting last chair or second to last due to someone being absent. But his ego got worse when he requested to be put into jazz band. I guess since we really needed one more trumpet player, he thought he was the reincarnation of Christ. There are two things. One, the entire band is surprised that our band director did that due to how close to the night of the performance it was. And two, everyone, save for me, has heard him play before. And he's awful. 3 days before the last concert. I'm in the band hall very early to start my practice sessions. Now, I'm doing every scale warm-up at a higher speed than normal, and staccatos keep my fingers and tongue on time with the metronome. And Joseph walks in as I'm doing a C-sharp scale and proceeds to turn the fucking metronome off. Well, I continued without really noticing, hyper-focused on the music sheet, and switched to the actual song. This probably bothered Joseph a bit because he clears his throat. I stopped, annoyed at him for interrupting me, and this wonderful Jim comes out of his mouth.
Hey, Ballistic, I have a favor to ask you.
Yeah.
Can I have your solo because I want my family to see how great I am at the trumpet?
What? No, I've already earned it, and I want to make progress and see what I can do to spice it up a little. I've already put too much effort into this to just give it to someone else. I'm gonna guess he never heard the word no before, because he pulls out his trumpet, sits next to me, and says, and I quote,
Look, I'm the best player in this class, and I have the money to prove it. I could easily outplay you and make you sound like an idiot. You're just wasting your non-existent talent.
Now, I let a lot of insults bounce off of me because it really doesn't matter to me. But I have no patience for any insults aimed at my family, people who have it worse than others, or insulting my passion and how much work I put into it. So when he basically calls my efforts for nothing, I snap and decided he needs a little bit of a reality check. Hold up. Are you saying that just because I had to rent an instrument that I have no skill? Money doesn't determine how well you play. I'm willing to bet that you can't even play measures 4 through 15 without getting half the notes wrong. So he grabs his music folder and grabs the music and starts playing and immediately gets an entire measure wrong. He played the wrong notes, such as, instead of an accidental G flat, he plays an A, playing quarter notes as eighths, and so on. By the time he's done, he looks dead at me and smirks.
See? Told you. All in one breath.
He took 7 of them. Okay, except for the fact that you played this, and instead of that, and held over this note too long, and skipped the accidentals, and oh, you were also out of tune. I don't know how listing his mistakes upset him, but it did, and he goes to the band director, and probably to complain, and I didn't see him for the rest of the day or the next. Night of the concert. We're getting our instruments. Everyone's excited about the last performance. Well, almost everyone. I'm in the band director's office having a fucking panic attack. It hit me hard. I'm hyperventilating, crying uncontrollably, shaking like a leaf. When everyone's setting up, the band director told me that everything's going to be okay, because he asked a band director from the high school I go to now to see if I could be enlisted to perform with them next year. Well, Joseph heard this, and he holds on to this information for later. After the performance, I still have the video if you want to see. Be warned, when my family cheers, they make sure I can hear them. Sounds awesome. My band director is talking to the other director backstage when the other band members were in the band hall, and Joseph walks up to me red-faced.
It's not fair! How come you didn't give me your solo? There was someone important here who could have seen my talent!
1, stop shouting. I'm 3 feet away from you. And 2, I already told you that I already put all my effort into this. I feel like I need to mention this. If you don't play, you get a 0 for a test grade, unless you had an excuse on why. And he sat behind me on the right side, and I didn't hear a single note. Not one.
I don't care how much effort you put into that crappy solo. I'm more talented than all of you.
If you're talented, then how come no one can hear you at all? He looked at me like I was about to kick him in the jewels and stuttered, trying to find a comeback. But I'm having none of it. The only thing you're talented at is faking, and you're calling my solo crap? At least I fucking played. At this point, I think a couple of the band students went to get the director, because in a few minutes I heard, "Quit fighting, both of you," from behind me. And the band director brought us in his office and shooed us out, giving Joseph a 0 for non-participation. That's about all I can remember. If Moonhorse is reading this, I am. I want to thank you for reading my life experiences so far, and caring for your viewers' health and safety. It's what I do. I hope you have a blessed day, and Joseph, if you're reading this, fuck off. Sincerely, Ballistic Buddha. Well, first off, I'm going to point out that if you are doing something like that, like you're playing an instrument and you're really putting it all into it and you're really doing your best, I'm sure you're fucking fantastic, man. There are people who are amazing, and they just don't seem to get the attention that they honestly deserve. I kind of feel what you're saying, though. Somebody else just coming along and shitting all over your talent does really kind of piss you off. I have had that happen a few times. Before I started doing this, before I started doing all this, I was basically, I taught myself how to play guitar. I'm not the greatest, but I'm pretty good, and I more than once tried to get into bands and different groups with people, and most of the time they'd either tell me how horrible I am or they just wouldn't reply at all, which is really fucked up and kind of deeply insulting. But a lot of that also has to do in the area I live in, and the area I live in is kind of, well, it sucks. It really sucks. But on the plus side, if I had just locked myself into all that, I wouldn't have discovered my actual talent, which is being here, reading wonderful stories to all you wonderful people. And I do love you all so very, very much. And I kind of enjoy this a little bit more. And it's always fun to, to think that I could be playing guitar for a living. But honestly, I'm already kind of a rock star. Just, I'm also a unicorn now too, which is... I think that's fucking better, actually. I kind of like that better. Anyway, I kind of got into like a weird fucking area there, but I am sorry that you had to deal with that fucking kid, but I'm glad that you were able to perform the solo that you wanted to perform and continue to do the awesome things that you do. And that goes for all of you. Continue to do the awesome things that you do. You guys are fucking amazing, and I love you so very much. I know I say that like in almost every episode, but it's really true. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here, and that makes me so happy to know that you guys are that awesome. Like, you basically have made this amazing shit happen, and I couldn't do this without you. So I'm so happy you're here. So with that being said, this is the end of the episode, so thank all of you for being here and watching. If you have a story you'd like to send me, you can send it to r/Moonhorse Stories. I check it every day, so I will see it. And if you'd like to keep the lights on this place so we can keep doing crazy shit like this, you can do that by donating to Patreon or buying stuff from the merch store. There's actually new designs in the merch store now, too. You should probably check them out. I'm just saying. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, shameless plug. Anyway, I love you all so very, very much. And I will see you in the next episode. And I hope you have an awesome day or night or whenever the hell you're listening to this. Just have an awesome whatever. Have an awesome everything. I don't know how you'll do it, but you're awesome, so I'm positive you'll figure it out. Awesome everything all the time. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye!